If the first game breaks, we'll get you know let us put on more steam. Protect our kickers, our quarterback, our lead, our ball game. All obstacles, block, cut, sides, 2 games after this win in. First game here for the first May. Can everybody keep that 6 minutes?
Rocky Top will always be.
Doesn't have to be perfect, ain't gonna be perfect. We go compete for 60 freaking minutes. All right, enjoy the opportunity, enjoy the environment, and then go play our butts off, play for one another, and have a hell of a lot of fun. Everybody got me?
Yes, sir.
All right.
It's day one, like I said, like I just told D-Rock. Hey, it's intensity from day one, from start to finish. Whistle to whistle blows to whistle in. All day, every day. I need everything you got. Everything out of you. All 15 days. Every practice. It starts right now. It's your time. It's your choice to be great. Let's pick that.
Yes, sir, man. Let's go, man.
Man, let's go. Tennessee on 2, 1, 2.
Tennessee!
To be the man, you gotta beat the man, and I'm saying, woo, right here.
Make the decision. You're either a Vol or you're not, through thick and thin.
But you know what? Let's talk a little Vols. That is not me trying to take any shine away from the phenomenal channel Talking Vols and my guy Boogie Bentley runs, so shout out to them. But let's talk a little Vols here.
Welcome to the Talkin VAWLS Network. My name is Boogie Bentley. The boys are back together. Coach Jay's here. Foul Ming's in the house. Captain D is back with us for the Talkin VAWLS post-game show. Do us a favor, smash the thumbs up, share out the link, let them know we're live. I'm an idiot, and I forgot to do all the stuff that I'm supposed to do behind the scenes, the algorithm, the tags for the show. Apparently I've not done this in a minute. So hopefully they'll find out we're live. If not, you guys can let them know we are live by smashing that thumbs up and sharing out the link. Tennessee gets it done 45-26. I saw some things I liked. I saw some things that I did not like. I'm going to need a full list of injuries. I'm going to need somebody to get down a pen and paper, write down the injuries, because I have no idea who's a part of this football team right now. They were driving like flies. At one point, I looked down. We got a walk-on linebacker out there on the field trying to get a goal line stop late in the game when the game's still on the line. Joey Aguilar, I think, looked about as I expected him to look. Beautiful deep ball to Braylon Staley. Struggled with some accuracy at times, but I thought he looked poised. I thought he looked in control of everything that was going on. Colton Hood, he's a dude. Star Thomas is a dude. Deshaun Bishop is a dude. Bottom line, Coach, at the end of the day, you scored 45 points. You covered the spread. You got the dub. And now we go back to work, and we got a glorified scrimmage coming up next week before Georgia. Opening thoughts on the win over Syracuse today?
Number one, every win is a good win, right? And probably going to hear a lot of criticisms out of Coach Jay, but a lot of happiness too. So it definitely a mixed bag. I want to just first start off by saying Fran Brown's an amazing coach, right? And he did an amazing job with the transfer portal offensive line, late transfer portal quarterback addition like he got, and that is a absolute dude of a head coach. To start with. But opening thoughts are I'm glad that the greatest improvement comes between week 1 and week 2, because I think this team can and should and will improve quite a bit. It was just for Coach Jay, and I'll keep it short and leave some meat on the bone for you guys. But it was a real, true mixed bag here. There was a lot of good, but a lot of really, really bad too. And I guess we'll jump into it as we get along here.
Foul Ming, opening thoughts on the win over Syracuse.
Like Coach said, there's a lot you can judge from here, good and bad. But some high points. I thought all three backs looked really well. It didn't matter which one we rotated in. It almost like you didn't miss a beat. Each one had their kind of strengths and weaknesses there. And then it turned out Starr ended up leading rushing there. I would have bet Bishop for sure. But all three looked good. And then maybe a quick note on defense. I thought the secondary looked really well. I thought at times maybe got a little bit out of position or came up trying to make some good sticks, but it was forgot to throw our arms. We had a little bit of arm tackling there and gave up some extra yardage we probably didn't have to. But as far as the DBs are concerned, I thought we looked good there. Hood looks the part. Mm-hmm. The best thing I can hear from a DB is not hear his name most of the day. So he wasn't getting beat. Ricky had a couple grabs there, but other than that, he looked really good. I thought Farouk came up and made a couple good sticks and helped a lot in the run game. So altogether, I thought the DB room looked pretty good there, but we'll leave some stuff to talk about. What do you think, Cap?
Yeah, I agree. It was nice to see a little bit more or a little less conservative calls on both sides of the ball. I thought that was nice to come out of the gate swinging a little bit, both on defense and offense. Last couple of years, I feel like I've almost been able to predict what's going to happen on offense, and it kept me guessing a little bit more. Had some early drops early on, and I was like, oh, here we go. I know there were some high balls there, but there was also a few, like at least 3 or 4 catchable ones in that first quarter there that, could have helped, get us on the board a little quicker. But, definitely got our, depth tested right off the bat on defensive line. But I thought those that came in, AKA Nathan Robinson, really had a good game. And then, like you said, Hood is the dude. I'm so grateful for him considering McCoy's out.
Yeah, I think it just, escalates how good of a football player he is because McCoy's not out there. Man, he played physical. I love how physical he played, but at times I'm like, man, if we had a different – and I thought the officiating crew did a good job. They let their DBs play physical too. There was one I was like, come on, that's pass interference. And I'm like, that Hood's mauled a few dudes tonight. So it's I thought they were balanced. They let him play football, man. They let him play football. So I like that Hood plays physical. We'll see if that comes back to bite us later on. Let me catch up with you guys in the chat. We got almost 750 people watching this post-game show. If it's your first time here, you stumbled upon us, we welcome you to this channel. We don't sit here and act like we know more than you. We're not experts. We're not insiders. We're exactly what you guys are. For the fans, by the fans. If you like it, subscribe. We'll be here every single Saturday for the post-game show. Robert45 became a member of the channel. You can also do that. It's $1. That's it. If you like what we do, you keep the lights on, hit the join button. We appreciate it. JG80 also becomes a member of the channel. Backflip Spaghetti joins the channel. We appreciate you guys. Luke Thompson for 2 says, screw those refs, screw ABC, but I'm glad we won. I don't know what the refs did. What did they do that made Luke so upset? They did miss the punt. The ball touched the towel. If the towel's part of the body, that's a turnover there. Landon for 2 says Starr definitely needs more carries a game. GBO, I thought overall they should have maybe ran the ball a little bit more. Big Red Bearded member for 25 months says, GBO, we appreciate you. Daniel Skeleton and also Ty YT Gaming Guy both become members of the channel. We appreciate that. Sling Blade, top donation of the early stream. It's orange, so we'll play the clip.
Rocky Top!
Shout out Sling Blade says, go Vols, proud of our team today. Great job, Braylon Staley. Let's go. Man, Coach, we talk about it all the time. We have these kids on. I got a little emotional when Joey connected with Bray. I texted Brian. I said, my guy, and he immediately sent back, boom. You get that way a little bit today? I got it with Colton Hood too, man.
I'm very proud. You all know I have the connection there with Joey as well through Coach Danny H. So awesome to see the deep ball connect. Definitely some things to work on. And awesome with Staley too, man. I can remember back in the spring game, me and you sitting there and rapping with old man Staley and really proud of him. I don't think we ever had our slot wide receiver smoked somebody like that last year all year long. Certainly not do it and catch the dang ball afterwards. So
Right.
certainly a welcome sign. And exciting to see, man. Just super exciting to see and happy to see it, and gives us something to build on for sure.
Yeah. And
Balls for life. Go ahead, Dusty. Go ahead.
No, I was just saying, just, that aspect of the offense has been kind of missing the last couple of seasons. So just seeing that is kind of like a breath of fresh air and like a sigh of relief. It's like, okay. And you kind of felt it too. It's like, okay, the momentum swing, they had matched our points pretty good, but to come right back down the field a couple times today and answer was huge.
Balls for live for five says offense questions answered, defense questions arise. Why is this the way our life is? Why can't we just have it all? Says D-line, I'll take the win. Maybe Syracuse has an amazing O-line, but that was a very clean pocket. Coach, do you need to talk?
Yeah, I kind of do. I'm sorry. I just want to make the point that I do want to pump the brakes just a little bit on the offense. That was the 96th ranked defense in the country. Joey A was 57.14% completion percentage, worse than any mark the last 2 years by either volunteer quarterback. So just let's pump the brakes. I think we can get better and can get better than we were, but there's still issues we need to solve.
Oh, I'm going to ramp it up to 150. I cannot wait. Joey A for Heisman right now. I'm starting it today. Nicholas for 10 says, honest, no bullcrap thoughts. Good game for Joey, and I see him only getting better. Defense needs serious work after that game. Don't get me started on injuries. Tyler Adams for 2. Once we get Sanders and McCoy back, let's ride. Christopher becomes a member of the channel. Shout out, Christopher. We appreciate you. Dave Morrison for 2. ABC is Bush League for switching the game. It went to ESPN News. I think a lot of people were confused. They said it on the broadcast. I watched the end of the game on ESPN News. Loco for 5. College football playoff. Here we come. Go big dang orange. Vols going to ball for 2. I feel like we just watched an episode of ER. Yeah, golly, the injuries. Solly for 5, even with all the criticism you can have for the defense, Syracuse RB1 was a dude. What is this? KWD becomes a member of the channel. We appreciate you. Cletus also becomes a member. Shout out for the support. DeChris for 5. I don't think the O-line got called for holding once today. Massive improvement from last season. GBO. Coach McGee for 20 will do it. Why not play the clip?
Rocky Top!
Coach McGee says it's nice to see our local boy, Southern Virginia, Peyton Lewis, doing his thing. Go Big Orange. Glad to be back. Ethan Leonard has been a member for 24 months. Dirty Ducky for 16 months. We appreciate you guys. I'm almost caught up here, and then we'll get into it. Rocky Top time for 5. Lot to build on. A lot of room for improvement. Absolutely. Cletus also dropped a 20 spot.
Rocky Top!
Cletus says, I don't care what anyone says. This Syracuse team was better than last year's national NC State team. And our QB this year looks better than the one we had last year. Still got a lot of work to do, but let's effing go. Tagalong has been a member for 22 months. We appreciate you. Philip Scout for 5. Defense was still missing their 2 best players. They'll be fine. Offense is only going to improve. We also got Vols for live for 5. I agree, Jay. No, it was a bad D, but Joey can hit the deep ball. His overthrows need work, but wide receivers look better than last year. Caught the catchable balls, I think he means there. Let me see. I got one more here. JB Carter before the show said, if Tennessee wins, I'm dropping a hundo. He drops a hundo.
Money isn't everything. It's the only thing. And everyone has a price for the $1 million man.
Shout out, JP. Promises made, promises kept. 100 for the dub, GBO. $100 is not cheap. I appreciate the kind support. I guess let's start with Joey Aguilar because, I think that was one of the biggest question marks going into this thing, Foul. Everybody's looking at the interceptions. He's going to turn the ball over. I didn't turn it over once. Went 16 of 28, 247, 3 touchdowns. Also, in the tailgate show, Coach Jay's talking about Joey running the football. He says, I need about 4 to 5, guys. I need about 4 to 5 keeps. He had a little speed option that he kept it on. They ran a QB power, which I didn't like that play call, but they ran it. He had a read option that he kept. I thought they used Joey effectively in the run game. Foul, what were your thoughts on Joey Aguilar's first game as Tennessee starter?
Yeah, just to keep right where you left off. I thought he ran the RPOs well. He had maybe a couple keeps he could have had, but I mean, obviously you want to go to your first option. We're going to give the running back the option when we can. I thought he looked good, man. I thought he did exactly what we asked him to do. I thought he managed the game well. I thought he never looked rattled. He never looked like he didn't have command of the offense. He never looked like he struggled. And I'm just going over some things that you would look for in the first game. Like, I don't think he struggled with any calls. It didn't look like he was at the line panicking anything, looking around. There wasn't a whole lot of like check back with me. Like, they seemed like they were on the same page. Him and Hype and Hasley looked like they were on the same page. I thought he maybe, I don't know if it's just him and mechanics like they were talking about on the broadcast, but I thought maybe just nerves. A lot of times with nerves, you're going to overthrow a little bit, get too excited. He's on the big stage and he's got an open guy, right? And I just want to get it there. And you put a little too much on it, but it wasn't like these clear overthrows. It was just a little touch. I mean, some of those maybe could have been caught. I was going to get into that. I thought there was some drops early. And again, it looked more like nerves, guys they'd turn and try to run before they had control of the ball and things like that. But overall, if you put in those drops, I'm curious what the completion percentage would be there, Coach. I'm sure it's close. I'd like to be a little bit better than 16 for 28, but the big number, and I'll move on so you guys can get in on this, but the big number for me is zero INTs. 0 INTs. So it looked like he managed well. He hit the spots he needed to hit. He tucked and ran. I mean, it's probably bad, but I like we're not sliding. Put that shoulder down, get a little attitude, get the juices flowing for the team, and average 8 yards a catch there. So we'll probably bump that up some along the way. But I thought overall, first day on the job, probably a good solid A minus.
Yeah, I thought he was a little hot when he came out, right, Val? Which I think is what you're talking about, right? Just a little hot, little outside or a little high, just by hair. Yep. Yeah, a little tight, but it's first game, right? And I think I have that note on here too. The first series, we had just on that first series alone, we had a bad throw, one drop, and one false start, right, on that first series that kind of puttered out into that field goal there. So that certainly affected us. But like Boogie's been saying, if he can just go out there and manage a game, not throw in interceptions, and give us a chance, we should be fine. Now, did the defense give me a little bit pause for that for this season? Maybe, and we'll get into that later, but we're talking about the offense right now. I will say this. Everyone, I believe, on this channel has been on the same page that when we've been able to protect whatever quarterback has been here, we've been fine. And we kept Joey really, really clean and upright today. And whenever we can do that, we've been just fine. So can we do that against Georgia? Syracuse lost a lot, specifically on the edge. And I'm not trying to take that away from the O-line. I thought they played really, really well. But can they take that next step? 2 weeks in Georgia will kind of tell that tale, I believe.
Yeah, I thought his intuitiveness was pretty strong considering it was first game. When the pocket was collapsing, it wasn't much of a hesitation to get out of the pocket a little bit more. We didn't see a whole lot of that, but that touchdown, there in the second half was really, or maybe it was first half, but either way, just to be able to kind of extend the play a little bit longer and, throw it out there to Star. I thought that was nice. Nice to see a running back catch a touchdown too. And yeah, overall pretty serviceable. Looks like 247, 16 of 28. Looks like Syracuse had more passing yards than us, but of course we dominated their run game. So 247 on passing, 246 in rushing, super balanced day. And like I said at the top of the show, I just really liked the play calling, especially in the first half, was really nice.
Very nice.
Yeah. And then, just back to that tempo, it wasn't warp speed, but it was, efficient. And I think that really helped get that momentum going. Cause as we all know, that the first couple of first downs is huge for the momentum on that drive.
I love Coach Jay bringing up the offensive line because they did keep Joey. They kept Joey clean, and then you ran the football efficiently. I'm sitting there thinking, should have ran the football more. They ended with 246 rushing yards, averaged 6.2 yards per carry. You kept your quarterback clean. We've talked about this all offseason. Just because it's new doesn't mean it's different. And I know somebody in the chat said, don't talk about Nico. Let's stop talking about Nico. Look, when we talk about last year, we have to talk about Nico. And that offensive line struggled at times last year, right? And they struggled to keep him clean. And one of the biggest criticisms was Nico was bailing out of the pocket early. Was that a lack of confidence? I'm not sitting here talking about Nico. What I want to point out and I've seen it with Joey when he played at App State. Joey ain't looking to bail. Joey wants to stand in that pocket, look across the field, and make his throws. Now, I felt like when he needed to bail, he bailed. Dustin, you brought up the touchdown to Star Thomas to throw. That may have been my favorite play that he made. He stayed in the pocket, stayed in the pocket, stayed in the pocket. I got to get out, but his eyes were still scanning the whole time. He saw Star Thomas. He put it where only Star Thomas could catch it. What a play that was. I thought Joey played a good football game. Coach don't like it. Let's see. Joey A for Heisman. Let's start it in the chat. Screw Coach J. Screw his negativity. Nico was his boy. It's only wait.
They're both my boy. They're both from my coach.
I'm gonna ride this one to the end of the earth.
Darn. That didn't work. But I was gonna just pat myself on the back. I did say after Star's film review that he would add a dimension to this offense that we hadn't had in the past. So it was really nice to see that rear its head early in this game. And before I forget about it, I just want to point it out real quick. We were worried that we would lose something with Mays leaving. And I do think you lose something with a leader like that leaving. But what a beautiful game out of Sam Pendleton. And what a smart headsy play. Snapping that ball early, right? Like, oh man, that was the kind of stuff like Mays could do, and Pendleton showed there's going to be no drop off at the center position.
Listening to the chat here, you guys seem pretty confident about the play calling, and
in the first half,
I love. Yeah, it seemed to me like there were so many times that they could have put them away, and they didn't. And I don't know if that was play calling. I don't know if it was execution. You know, we talked about doing the little things, and there were several times where you had like a second and two, and then you false start, just little mistakes that kind of put you behind the sticks, which we talked about going into it. But I felt like the play calling was different. I thought that you guys mentioned the tempo. This offense felt. And look, there's still a lot to improve on. It felt different than it's felt the last 2 years. And Fowl, we talk about Nico and that did he not have trust in the offensive line? A lot of people said this coaching staff didn't have trust in Nico, didn't have trust in Joe. Sure didn't feel that way with Joey Aguilar to me.
Well, that's one thing I wanted to bring up. It seemed like, and I won't bring up anybody else. I want to talk just about Joey here and brag on Joey. He seems like he doesn't get uncomfortable. He doesn't get rattled. He doesn't panic, right? Like the whole time his eyes were downfield. That's the point I wanted to brag on the most, because even when he moved, even if it's just a foot or two to kind of evade somebody, or we're rolling out of the pocket a little bit, all the time he's looking downfield. And there was even one play, and this is just a slot, Nick. But because, I mean, he wasn't wrong. His read wasn't wrong. He just had another option. But I thought he even looked down the field when he didn't have to. There was once or twice he had a tight end maybe right across the middle. Could have got maybe just the first down, especially on a third down or something. Maybe we go ahead and take that. But he's looking downfield. He's looking to make that big play all the time. And it's not like he's forcing it. The play's there. The read was right, or at least from the outside looking in, it appeared the read was right. But I just wanted to brag on how he stayed calm in the pocket, moving when he had to, but the whole time his body's moving, he's getting in the right position, but his eyes are right where they need to be. His eyes are downfield, and he worked both sides of the field. A lot of times you've seen him scan, and go back to his third read. How many times have we asked quarterbacks for the last 2 years to do that? And maybe it's him, maybe it's Coach Hop. We'll put the bragging wherever it's supposed to go, but I just wanted to really brag on it, on his staying calm in the pocket and his eyes scanning both sides of the field and working down the field every opportunity he got.
Let me catch back up with the chat. You guys being generous on this post-game show. We appreciate you guys. Almost 1,000 people watching. If you've not done it yet, hit the thumbs up. You can hit share, let people know we're live. We would appreciate it. If it's your first time here, we're glad you are hanging out. Man, you could be listening to experts and insiders and former players, but man, this channel is truly for the fans, by the fans. It's hanging out, crack a beer, talk with your buddies after the game. That's what we do here on Talkin VAWLS. Peyton K for 10 says Dorothy. Shout out, Peyton. We appreciate you. Vols going to ball for 5. I asked y'all last week if we had the best DB room in the conference, and I'll ask it again now. Also, Joey can get better. Defense can tighten up. GBO, I have said that I feel like we got the best 3 corners in the country when McCoy's healthy. Val, how much better do you feel about the safeties? I think you were the one that mentioned Idris Farouk. I thought he played a freaking good football game.
I did too. I thought Farouk looked really good. I thought he looked good in coverage. I thought he looked really good in run support. And it almost like bit him a few times. He was athletic enough to kind of play the middle, but there's a few times it almost bit him. But he's bringing the wood. he's trying. He wants to come up and hit somebody so bad. Every time I looked up, because I'm still trying to get numbers down. And hats off to him for wearing 15. He's got to have a little stones on you to put that number on. But it just seems like a lot of these young guys stepped up maybe quicker than we thought. Like you had Farouk look like he'd been there all last season. You had Ty. How about Ty Redmond? We should brag on him a little bit more.
Well, there's VFL Willie for 2 saying shout out Ty Redmond. So there you go.
Yeah, I had that in my notes earlier and kind of skipped over it for sake of brevity. But he a true freshman walking out there in corners to me may be the toughest spot. I mean, you're on an island a lot. And he stepped up. He looked like he'd been there all his life. He looked like he knew what he was doing. And I got nothing but good things to say about this secondary, man.
Let me continue to catch up. SP Weasel for 50. That ain't cheap. We'll play the clip.
Money isn't everything. It's the only thing. And everyone has a price for the $1 Million Man.
SP Weasel for 50. That is very generous. We appreciate you. Plenty to work on. Plenty to be pleased with. Yeah, overly satisfied. I am. There's a lot to work on. That's it's a good first week. You got an ETSU team coming to Neyland Stadium next week. That's the perfect get right game to get ready for the Georgia Bulldogs. Southern Center with another 50. Man, appreciate you guys.
Money isn't everything. It's the only thing. And everyone has a price for the $1 Million Man.
Southern Center for 50. Man, I think we look good. The rest were against us calling BS calls, but overall, go Big Orange. Shout out Southern Center. That is not cheap, and I appreciate you. Tim, the Tennessee Tornado becomes a member. Eddie Crossland also becomes a member. You can do that by hitting the join button. It's just $1. We appreciate you guys. Peyton K for 2. Star Thomas's vision. I thought he also brought a level of physicality that I liked a lot. Jared King has been a member for 12 months. Love Joey's poise in the pocket and this offensive line. Dave Morrison for 2. A difference in Halsley and Luttrell play calling. Don't sleep on that, Seth Luttrell. It's more eyes on the product. Tim, the Tennessee Tornado for $100. Top donation of the stream. We'll play the clip.
Money isn't everything. It's the only thing. And everyone has a price for the $1 Million Man.
Tim, the Tennessee Tornado for $100. We're going to throw this one to Coach Jay, and we'll start talking a little defense. Then we'll bounce around, come back to offense because I want to talk about the running backs. I want to talk about the wide receivers. But Tim says, no, we were all disappointed in the defense before we overreact. I want to point out Syracuse was good last year. Fran Brown is a good head coach. That offense was good last year. Maybe we beat a 7 or 8 win team today at the end of the year. This may be a good win. That's a good point because Fran Brown, they went 10-3 last year. They scored a lot of points. Their quarterback led the country in passing yards. Guess what? That was his first year as a head coach there. That was his first group. So all the players then were new. All the players now are new. They lost so much production. Coach, what are your overall thoughts on the defense? And we'll kind of get into this defensive performance today.
I thought there were some good things, but I thought overall they were horrible. I just do. I thought Boo Carter was atrocious. I think Turrentine's a liability. I thought the linebackers, albeit they looked good while blitzing, were a liability in pass coverage. Spillman was exposed multiple times. Arian Carter was beat really bad, and the middle 10 was not defended at all with this team today. Was that bait that Tim Banks was hanging out there and playing with a big lead? Maybe. Us defensive coordinators have been known to do things like this so that we can bait teams like like Georgia, who like to run tight ends over the middle a lot by creating a false weak point. Now, did we do that today? Maybe, because it looked designed at times. The 4th and 10 comes to mind. A couple 3rd and 10s come to mind where we abandoned the middle of the field, and not because of blitz. It was a dime pull-out abandonment by the linebackers. So it almost was like a surrender. The Spillman wall off. I think I texted Foul at the time. Was lazy in half. I won't say it on here, but half aid because he basically titty bumped the slot wide receiver and that let him sit softly into the pull. I thought the tackling was poor in this game overall as well. And I thought the defensive line got whooped by a transfer portal offensive line. And quite frankly, it was a little bit sickening to me. but we made up for it with turnovers and opportunistic play
Yes.
on the edges. And then once again, the linebackers did look good when bringing pressure. So like I said at the beginning of the game, there was a bit of a mixed bag there, but overall, it left a disgusting taste in my mouth as a defense coordinator.
I think that was the frustrating part. Was it felt like Jekyll and Hyde to me? Like, right? It's you had 5 sacks. Okay, 5 sacks and 7 TFLs. That sounds like a good day to me. 2 turnovers. One of those ends up being a scoop and score. All right, sounds like a good day to me. But then you look at the touchdown drives. 11 plays, 75 yards. 9 plays, 49 yards. That's because you give them a short field after the 3 and out from your own 2-yard line, which again all started because Joey Aguilar overthrew an easy hitch that would have been 5, 6, 7 yards. Another drive, 11 plays, 74 yards. 14 plays, 88 yards. Foul. It felt to me like at times it felt like our defense was gassed. I'm like, it feels like they have been on the field all day long.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was gonna say it was a little bit of, black and white, right? I mean, there was the tackles for loss and the sacks, and the defense for the run game was pretty darn solid. Everything else, questionable. There was a couple of pass interferences that I thought the ball wasn't even catchable, and they still overplayed their hand. And then, like you said, the last couple of years, I think the Achilles heel for this defense has been the freaking edges and the freaking middle. And Syracuse was not intimidated whatsoever from the get-go, and they exploited that often. We did a good job with, kind of adapting as things went, I thought. But as a whole, we're back to the same conversation of, 3rd and forever or 4th and forever. And it's like, I'm just clenching my fist because I know somehow, I don't know if you saw this as well or think this the same way, but there was a few times that they were successful when they called pressure on those kind of downs. But anytime they didn't call pressure and kind of kept it a zone look, they got eat up.
But isn't that Tim Banks' MO though? It's like when he's aggressive and brings pressure, it's successful. When when it was 4th and 10 and they drop back in the zone, I'm like, the middle of the field is going to be wide open every time.
Yeah, they were late into their set too. Right there, I was screaming at Miss J, "Timeout! Why are they calling a timeout?" She's like, "Stop yelling at me, Coach. I did not call the timeout." But
that's the problem.
I wanted them to time out and reset right there. That was upsetting, and the most upsetting thing to me at all, and in the chat real quick before I keep going off, give Nate Robinson a lot of flowers. We had a talk about who would break out this game. Make no mistake, Nate Robinson had himself a breakout game, and I thought played really, really well on the interior. But with that said, what I really, really scared me, what I didn't like, is there were times I'd seen something I hadn't seen out of a Tim Banks defense every year he's been here in this game. There were plays where they were lost pre-snap in this game. Now, was that Fran Brown in this system and how good it is? We'll find out here, but there were times where they were lost pre-snap.
And we're probably the youngest we've been on that side of the ball since he's been here too, right?
For sure.
I mean, and
agreed.
And keep in mind, guys, chat, whoever's watching this back, like we're grading a lot of this on week 1. Like grades will adjust as we go, but it's like a lot of things like week 1, we're going to be harsher on some things and lighter on some things. But like, so we always jump on Heupel for not being aggressive enough or taking the foot off the gas at times on offense, right? So is it fair to do the same thing to Tim Banks here, where in the first half I felt like we were a lot more exotic in our blitz packages and things like that, and then it seems like we slowly take the foot off the gas and start getting into some base, which maybe Coach is onto something because he knows more about that than I do, clearly. But I don't feel like it was as much on purpose, that stuff, like allowing those things across the middle as far as in coverage, because unless it was a mistake again. But that's exactly what I saw in the Ohio State game at the end of the season. It's the same range. It's the same crossing route. And, Fran Brown saw that. And they exposed it, and they went straight to it to see if we had fixed it, if we had addressed it, and we haven't. So that's one hole. I don't know. We'll get into schematics. Hopefully, Coach can break down film later and tell us more about it. But, like, that's a glaring hole that everybody in the country can see, and it's not been addressed. I thought we had a lot of arm tackling. There's a lot of times we're in position and just missed the tackle. We were there, and it's just, I don't know if that's effort. I don't know if that's, just reps. Like, I know we're not probably doing as much contact. We talked about just going to a thud in practice. Well, there you go. The thud ain't going to get it done out here. But we made up for it. It's a lot of, just like last year where bend don't break, right? We allowed a lot of things to happen, then we kind of tighten up inside the red zone. But then we got a little lazy. We got a little lazy there towards the end and gave up some stuff. Well, on Boo, sadly enough, I thought Boo's best play, that was probably an offensive PI. I think Boo could have made a play on that ball. It was his biggest breakup. I think it was maybe towards the end of the first half. But he had a little breakup there, and there was obviously some contact. I thought you could have maybe gave him one there because it looked like he had a play on the ball. But I just – the things I thought Easton had a good day. I thought Joshua Josephs had a pretty good day. I thought Robinson had a good day. Obviously, the coach brought that up. But there's a lot of it's a lot of the same. Like, we're getting pressure, we're pushing the pocket, but we're not getting home, or we're getting home and we're just getting a hand on somebody. We got to stay under control, get to the hill line, things like that. But overall, for the first week, I feel okay. I mean, Coach is going to see more stuff, so he's going to be more harsh than any of us. But I thought overall it was a decent day, but there's definitely some stuff to work on there.
I just want to say, too, because I see a few people in the chat going, good Lord, just celebrate a win. Can y'all just be happy? Let me say that we've been live for 37 minutes, right? We've been live for 37 minutes. We're going to talk about the good. We're going to talk about the bad. We're going to talk about the concerns. We're going to address it from every angle. I think every person on this panel right now is happy that we came out of week 1 1-0, right? I saw a lot. I said it at the top of the show. I saw a lot of things today that encourage me, a lot of things today that make me happy. I saw some other things that concern me. So we're going to address it from every angle. We're going to talk about it from every angle. That's just the reality of what we do here on the Talkin VAWLS Network. I'm never going to spit sunshine, and I'm never going to be a negavol going nuts on Twitter over one.
We did a lot of bragging in that first 25 minutes, so I felt like it was a good time to bring it back down to earth a little bit.
And I'm not I'm not even in a position where I'm like, oh no, this defense is going to be awful. I think this defense can still be elite. I think this defense can still be fantastic. I think it is worth pointing out, and I've seen a lot of people in the chat do it. This defense was beat all to hell today. They were beat all to hell today. Your two best defensive tackles were hurt. Jackson Moy went down early. Ricky Gibson went down. We talk about Nate Robinson coming in and making an impact. He got hurt. He's got the big, club on his hand at one point. A lot of dudes banged up. That's why I said it's hard to come on here right after the game and just start talking. I want to see these injuries. I want to see who's banged up. Who are we going to get back? Coach, any other thoughts on defense? Anything you saw that made you happy, you old ball coach? You got to remember, too, he's a ball coach. He coaches defense. You don't think he's going to be as critical of defense?
Yeah, I'm going to be very critical of defense. And once again, I know you addressed it, guys, but those of you who weren't here a couple weeks ago when we were doing show and tell, look, I love me some Joey Aguilar. Danny Hernandez, his quarterback coach, Coach P, Nico's head coach. Guess what? All of us were together at Cathedral. And Coach Bryce, who won a Heisman, is in the NFL. I love both of those kids, always will love them. You will not find a bigger supporter for either of them than me, because they're both from my coaching tree. I hope Joey goes out there and wins the damn Heisman and wins every game for us. Nothing would make me happier. Danny Hernandez is a heck of a quarterback coach and a dear, dear friend of mine, and would just it's what I'm rooting for, man. Trust me. It's what I'm rooting for. But did anything make me happy on the defensive end? Yeah, I mean, the turnovers, right? You want your defense to create turnovers. I thought they were brilliant in this regard. I thought they were brilliant bringing pressure when they pinned their ears back and played Tim Banks' defense. I thought they were awesome. It just really disappointed me that, A, we were able to be ran on, and B, we didn't fix the problems Val's talking about from the Ohio State game. That really worried me, because we got a Georgia team that's going to come here, watching it right now. Zachariah Branch, catching slants over the middle of the field, sitting in the pocket over the middle of the field. Delp, the tight end, catching posts in the middle of the field. We need to solve this problem, is all I'm saying, guys. I'm not.
Is that a depth thing, Coach? Is that a scheme thing, or is that a depth thing?
A little bit of both, Val. A little bit of both, to be honest.
I'm confused when I watch it. It just doesn't. I don't. It seems like we're flat-footed and just watch the ball go over our heads. You know what I mean?
Can I say this about running the football, though? Because there was times I'm like, good Lord. I was like, how many rushing yards do they have? And I went and looked at the numbers, and it goes back, Dustin, to hot and cold, Jekyll and Hyde. This offense or this defense looked really bad at times, and then they looked really good at other times. And when you go look at the numbers, they ran the football for 103 yards, and they averaged 2.3 yards per carry. That's not a bad day at the office, in my opinion. Yes, at times they just ran it right down your throats. What were your thoughts of the way the defense played today?
Yeah, I mean, 50-50. I mean, I wasn't as disgusted as Coach Jay, but there were times it's like, well, we've seen this before. It reminded me a little bit of the Georgia scheme and the Missouri scheme for a couple of years ago, where they lived in the flat, they lived in stuff over the middle that really, kind of dinked and dunked us a lot. Luckily, we had enough pressure on the quarterback, I thought, and the secondary held up just enough to where, there wasn't any scares down the field. But I thought the team looked a little bit lost at the end of the first half, and then towards the end of the game too. Some of that at the end of the first half to me was when Arion Carter went out. He seems like kind of the leader right now and the alpha out there. And whenever he went out for a bit, it felt like that's when things got into question. But you gotta start fixing some of these issues, like Coach said, because at the end of the day, yes, I'm going to take stopping the run game first. I think they were serviceable in that regard. But when we get some of these, hybrid athletes out on the corners that we're going to face all year long, it's going to be something you got to address ASAP.
Let me catch back up with the chat real quick. Balls for Life for Two says, thank you, Coach Jay. D was horrible. D-line got exposed. Did they get exposed? I don't know. The jury's still out.
I'm in a mixed bag there.
Yeah, the jury's still out.
By injury, they got exposed by injury.
Right. See, I wonder that too. That's a huge part of it, man. Maybe I shouldn't have tweeted out making fun of the commentary team for saying we don't have depth on the defensive line. Maybe I should have kept my mouth
I thought the same thing when he said it. The first time
everybody thought the same thing. Coach McGee's been a member for 35 months. So glad football season is back, boys. Ian Pickett's here, drops a $5 super chat. That 73-yard touchdown to Staley was a beautiful throw. I think once the defense is fully healthy, Tennessee will shock some people. I also loved all three backs. That's what I want to talk about here coming up next. Tim, the Tennessee Tornado for 10. Coach Jay, I tried to throw us a bone. You poked holes all in the defense. We did a terrible job at getting off the field on 3rd and long and 4th down. Got to fix that for sure. Tennessee finished the day 5 of 14. 5 of 14 on 3rd down defense. It's now that I put it that way, it kind of makes it even worse, because weren't three of those 5 conversions 3rd and 10, 3rd and 10, 4th and 10?
Yep.
3 of the 5 were 3rd and longs. That makes it
I'll give up a 4-1, yeah.
Briston Hatfield.
I'm more nervous. I'm more nervous on those long plays where we know we can get off the field than I am.
Give me a 4th and 1 where we can play downhill. Give me that all day long. Briston Hatfield for 2 says outside run game slacked, but GBO, he dropped another 5 and said also in between the hash marks has to be fixed in the secondary. Papa T is here. What is up, Papa T? It's good to see you, my friend. We'll play the clip.
Rocky Top!
Papa T for 20 says, go Vols. I told y'all Vols by 50. Great balance, running backs, tight ends, offensive line killing the game. Joey looks special. The defense must get better on 3rd down. Refs kept the cues in the game. Vegas made the call 10-2. Let me say this real quick, and then I'm going to do some more plugs, but anybody's season prediction changed? After watching today, I'm still right at 9-3. Right at 9-3. Nothing that's swayed.
Injuries still. But that's hard to gamble on down the road. But injuries worry me. If we stay healthy where we're at, I'm still at 9-3. But that's a big if right now.
It would have to be a really, really bad game for me to change my prediction after a game 1, I think, ever. So no, Coach Jay has not changed any prediction.
Real quick, speaking of injuries, why is Staley returning punts? Or is that? Why we're so thin there?
I have no idea.
Anyway,
well, and you had Dwan Morris back there too, and it's like there was one. I'm like, good Lord, you had 20 yards in front of you. Why are you? I wonder if the coaches said call fair catch, because the one that Staley returned short hopped him, so he almost like.
It's not that I don't think he can do it or what he did. I just don't want him back there because I'm just so afraid that he's going to get hurt. That's it. Yeah. Nothing else.
Let me do some quick plugs and chills. We got 830 people watching live right now. Only 300 and 33 have hit the thumbs up. Smash the thumbs up. It helps the channel. We would appreciate it. I do want to plug this too. We got brand new merchandise. You can grab it at bonfire.com/store/Talkin VAWLS. This TN themed shirt. You can get t-shirts, hoodies, whatever you want. Tank tops if you're like Coach Jay. You can get whatever color, scheme, size you want. We got TN themed hats. We also added these just recently. If you want this for the Bama game, get in where you fit in. Order it soon, and you will have it in time for that game. It simply says, I hate the whole state of Alabama. Again, t-shirts, hoodies, tank tops, whatever you want. We got rivalry shirts, Buck Fama, FUGA. If that's too offensive, we've also got Beat Florida, Beat Georgia, Beat Bama. We got golf polos, quarter zips. We got a shirt that says VWO, Vol World Order, because if you're talking Vols, you're talking Vols for live. All kinds of fun, parody shirts, letter theme shirts, whatever you want. Bonfire.com/store/Talkin VAWLS. Let's get back to it. Let's talk about these running backs, man. We talked a little bit about them. Again, you ran the football for 246 yards. Syracuse averaged 2.3 per carry. We averaged 6.2 per carry. Man, I'm coming out of this thing. I don't know who the best back is. I think all three backs are special. I think all three backs add a lot to this team, and I think that's a great problem to have. You did have the fumble with Star Thomas and Joey Aguilar at the mesh point there. I think Joey wanted to pull it. Maybe whatever happened there. Obviously, you don't want that to happen. But, again, 246 yards on the ground. Star Thomas had 12 carries, 92 yards. Bishop, 11 for 82 and a touchdown. Lewis, 8 carries for 38 yards and a touchdown. Coach Jay, who's your favorite back in this room? And just kind of talk about these running backs.
Man, you tell me, man. They're both dudes. I wrote it. I think I texted multiple people after that one Bishop run. Well, dude, that was a big boy. I was in the weight room. You were not in the weight room like I was. Hit. I thought Star Thomas, just like I said during the breakdown, would be the most versatile, and it seems like he just keeps his feet no matter what happens. Even when he's stopped in the backfield, it's like he keeps his feet and fights forward. And then Peyton Lewis running over people in the end zone, showing true burst through A gap. Like, I mean, you pick your poison with this team, and I think Joey Aguilar can be great and surprise a million different people in this country with how amazing he can be and how Brett Favre like he can be at times. But with that said, Tennessee in a lot of ways is going to go as far as this backfield carries them, because you see how much more dangerous Joey A is on the play action with these backs doing the work they are. It is truly, truly a deadly weapon for this offense.
Dude, when Deshaun Bishop was out there looking like freaking Barry Sanders back in the 90s, I was like, all I wanted to do, and if I had that picture close, but the picture of him all yoked up, where he looks like he's just all on all the steroids, he looks like he's on all the gas, allegedly. I just wanted to tweet that picture and just not say anything. Just tweet that picture and say, this dude's, he's a dog, man. He's a dog. Foul, what'd you think about these running backs, and who's your go-to? I love them. I love this running back.
It changed by drive. I mean, in all positive ways. Because at first I thought Bishop came out and looked solid, and then Peyton Lewis comes out and looks like he's running like Jamal Lewis and running over people. And then Star comes out, and then Star's running all over people. And I do like Star in space. I think he really adds something in the passing game. I think coach has been all over that from the beginning, but because we all saw it in spring. And if I'm not mistaken, that's where kind of that narrative started, because we're like, this guy can be a weapon. But I mean, I can't pick one. If you wanted me to pick one that was just heads above everybody else, I couldn't do that. I think I could plug all three guys in there. I wouldn't lose a wink of sleep. Peyton Lewis, but is an absolute unit though. That dude, man, I just want to see that guy in the red zone more often. But I think to come in third, I think Star may end up doubling or tripling his reps. I think those reps might get flipped around. Star just seems to have that little extra, make something happen when he has to. He doesn't go down on the first contact. He's good in space. So if you give me one for today, Star won the day.
Yeah, I agree.
Shout out.
Go ahead, Justin. Yeah.
I would say shout out to Darrell Sims for, spreading the load around. That's something we haven't seen as much in the last couple of years. So giving all three of those dudes that have earned it the opportunity. I mean, even Morris got a few carries there too. So yeah, it's hard to pick. It's a three-headed monster right now. They're all similar, but all bring some, different things to the table. So yeah, it's like, how do we expand on that as the year goes on? And like I said, it's keeping those fresh legs for 4 quarters, I think is huge. And it's like, yeah, Dylan Sampson is gone, but I think a lot of us off this offseason has said, it's going to be like, dominance by committee.
But so I want to touch on one thing really quick. I know he got called for a penalty, which I didn't like, but I thought Ethan Davis added another dimension to his game because he was blocking his Batoot off. If you go back and rewatch that game, he did a heck of a job blocking specifically on the pull. Yeah, there you go. And you have to wonder, with all the play action you saw to the wide receivers and the run game as good as it is, are these coaches keeping the tight ends in their back pocket for Georgia? It really made me start to wonder that as we watch this game.
Yeah, because
we hit him once or twice on the little leak.
Yeah, that call on Ethan Davis was a joke. You have to be engaged. He's not engaged. The guy had his hands on his back. That's not engaged.
It was also in the hip. It was
in the hip, not the knee. I hated that call. Yeah.
Anyway, go ahead.
I was just going to. Oh, sorry. I was just going to say that. Yeah, I think that was. There's a lot left out on the field that wasn't utilized today as far as tight ends go. I think we've all been hype on the tight ends all season long when the, story with the wide receivers has kind of been up in the air. And they didn't really tap into that too much. So I'm excited. I don't know if you guys got to see Brame or any other the guys made any appearances, but man, Kitzelman had a great catch. He was it's a turf field, but he was muddied up and he was down there in the trenches. So I think that's going to get both him and Ethan Davis playing time. Is that if they can block like that and help in the run game, then it's just going to open up for those little sneaky plays to the tight ends as we go along.
I actually kept waiting to see that. I thought a couple times there in the red zone that we'd run up the middle a few times. I thought we were going to get in that bunch package. I thought we were going to get a little tight end release, a little tight end dump pass over the middle. I agree with everything you said. I got it in my notes. First thing was tight ends blocked well. Miles Kitzelman talked about in this week in a couple interviews how that's his favorite thing on the field is to get in there and displace somebody. So that was good to see. And I think I did see Van Dorselaer at the end of the game. I don't know. I didn't see any rolls or anything like I don't know that he caught any passes or anything like that. I'm not sure, but I did see him in the game a couple times. But I think we're rotating some guys. But that did make me think they're not worried about burning that jersey. They're not worried about burning that red shirt because as soon as I saw his name in there, I'm like, okay, he's going to get some significant playing time, or at least they plan on it. Because why else would you burn a game that late into the game?
Yeah, I mean the fact that Ty Redmond's they're just throwing him out. Letting him go, and then Dwan Morris, regardless of returning punts, they still, they let him get a series running the football too. Go ahead, Dustin.
Yeah, Boogie, I'll toss it right back to you. I think the bigger picture here is there might be some growing pains along the way, but on both sides of the ball, seeing all these new kids get out there, some because they've earned it, others because they have to. But in the long run, into later this year, into next year, it's only going to make us deeper.
Yeah, I thought somebody made a great point on VolQuest because somebody was imagine that place is a dumpster fire during the games, and somebody was griping about young guys being on the field, and it's like, man, y'all are griping last year because we're not giving the young guys enough run. Now we're giving them run, and maybe it's costing us a drive, but when you're up 3 scores at the time, that's a good thing. Like at the end of the day, man, if you got enough on tape for the young guys, even the veteran guys from this first game, you still come out with a win. That's everything Josh Heupel could ask for, right? I mean, that's perfect. Let me hit these real quick. Bad quality for 5 says, loved when we were blitzing linebackers. Defense showed moments of eliteness. Bend but don't break, and bend and break. Wonder what will be. Balls for life for 2 says, what a catch by Kitts, though. Yeah, that one-handed grab he had, man, what a freaking play. What a play. I'm with you, Coach. I hope, or maybe it was Fowl that said it, I hope we see Joey's so good at the play action, and that's what the film breakdown, give him credit because he talked about this. You know, a lot of times Joey Aguilar has his back to the defense at App State because he was running a lot of play action. He's comfortable running the play action. And I think we may see this team attack the middle of the field. I think I saw enough today. And like you said, maybe they were still holding some things back, but I saw enough today. This offense just felt different. And maybe that's me being overly optimistic. Maybe that's me being excited because last year, after the first game, everybody's talking about Nico for Heisman, right? He goes out there and slings it all over the field. And, you know, maybe that's me being overly optimistic. But I think you could also see some of those problems that we were worried about. The routes on air, the drops. We had, somebody said in the chat, 3 drops. I think we had more than 3 drops on offense. And
I had
Joey being high.
Brazel with 3 drops alone. I had Brazel with 3 drops.
Some of them you could argue were behind them, maybe, but for the most, or even a little high. But there were several that were catchable balls, and Brazel maybe had the worst one, which he had a good day too. He had a couple good catches too, so it balanced out. But that one right in the chest, man. He's just getting ahead of himself. He's trying to look upfield.
But that's the question. That's against Syracuse. It doesn't cost you the game, and we can say, well, he still had a good game. Man, that catch that he made in the end zone that got called back. What a throw and what a catch that was.
Yeah,
but it's like these are the type is you get away with it against Syracuse. You get away with it against ETSU. Does it cost you a game against Georgia? Right?
Get that out now, though. Just get it out now.
We say that. We say get it out now, but I've said it a million times on this channel. If it's a problem in spring camp, then it's a problem in fall camp, and then it's a problem in week 1. It's probably going to be a problem in week 3. Clean it up.
I've seen Coach Amessa said there's jugs machines for a reason. We got to get on the jug machine.
But let's be fair. Do you not think, Coach, that they're out there on the jugs machine catching balls? And like, how do you fix that as a coach? It's got to be maddening. It's got to be maddening.
Yeah, it's maddening. They just have a little bit of drops in them, man. They just need to man up and fix it. There's no other way to say it, man. But you know what? I thought there were good signs. You brought up the Kitzelman catch. I mean, I know it's the tight end position, but Kitzelman struggled at times catching the football last year. I can think of a drop ball against Alabama in the end zone with Kitz. I can think of one time he got held too in the end zone. I can think of a couple drop balls with him, and he fixed it. I think this wide receiver group can be better because I think the slot position can be a lot better this year, and I think the Josh Heupel, Halsey, whatever you want to call it, this offense, right, works better when the slot is the premier threat in the deep ball, and that was missing from this year, last year's offense in a big way. I think it can get fixed this year. It's game 1. If I could see a really, really clean game, like where they didn't drop anything, I know it's ETSU, but give me one, right? Give me one game where your hands are sticky as heck and you catch everything, and we can go and we can build on it from that point.
Yeah, and I don't know about you guys, but I mean that's really the only negative from today. I thought was on offense was just some drop balls that could have been caught. Some of them were high and early, but you know there was but some of them were catchable too. I know Boogie's always like, if it hits you in the hands, you gotta come away with it. But this is a much different ball game if the offense isn't hitting. If we're doing the trends we've had the last couple of years, we have 2 or 3 and outs in a row. Man, this is not going to be a pretty game. But I thought that the play calling was probably catered to what Joey liked, I'm guessing. I know Volquest was talking about that a lot this week, like Brent Hubbs. Shout out Brent Hubbs. Congrats for having him on the show, by the way. Awesome content. I thought that, having him be comfortable with what they were calling and throwing in some extra wrinkles really helped, establish some confidence pretty early on. Wasn't always perfect, but I think I think we all kind of saw the difference of what it can be. And this is what Heupel was brought to Tennessee to do, have an exciting brand of football. And we've seen it at times. And is this the kind of quarterback that we need that's a little bit more comfortable in his own britches and willing to swing it when it's necessary, really willing to run when it's necessary, or just take what's there and just kind of march it down the field too? Because we know that teams over the past couple of years have run the 3-3-5 on us and stuff like that. So how does that progress as the year goes on too?
Yeah, agreed.
Let me hit a couple more here. Will Dyer for 2 says tempo looked better than last year's offense. Louisiana ball, been a member for 28 months. Joey impressed me throwing on the run and scrambling like he did. I mean, I know he wasn't incompetent in the pocket, breaks down, but he impressed me. Man, it's almost like I said he would stand in there in the pocket and be comfortable. And it's almost like
it's almost like he was
6-year veteran.
playing football a long time and a 6-year veteran, right,
Yeah.
Boogie? Like almost like that was the case, and we didn't have a freshman there back there. So I think that was a really welcome sign for me, all of us, right? Like great to see that. Makes you feel a lot better about things back there.
I did not see one thing today from Joey Aguilar that surprised me. The only thing that surprised me was them running him the way, like the little speed option, the quarterback. How many times last year did I say, can 8 just run the quarterback power? Like, can we call the quarterback power with 8? And I wonder, I'll come back to the super chat in just a second, Paul the Ball. I wonder, somebody said this earlier in the show or not, the confidence in the backup. How much confidence do you have in Merck that now you're just going to go out there and run Joey versus maybe they didn't have that confidence in QB2 last year, and that's why they didn't run 8 as much as maybe we have wanted to. I love I didn't like the quarterback power call in that situation, but I love that play at the right time. Y'all have any thoughts on that? More confidence in QB2?
Yeah, I was just going to say, just having that threat of pulling it. I think he did maybe once or twice in this game. The other times was like scrambling, but just having that threat with the legs, man, we know how huge that was for Hooker. He was obviously a lot more wiggly and a lot more top end speed, but I think, like I said, just having that threat with Joey being able to break that off when necessary is going to be huge.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I thought his RPOs, a lot of his reads were accurate most of the time. It wasn't like he just forced anything.
Yeah, his reads were, I thought, really great. The whole game, really. I thought they were wonderful reads.
Let me come back to Paul the Ball. He dropped the 20 spot. We got to play the clip.
Rocky Top!
Shout out Paul the Ball for 20. That is a very generous super chat. Says should have busted 50. I like what I see. Defense worked hard in the first at half, and offense scored fast. Great job, guys. GBO. Thank you, Paul. Go ahead.
Go ahead. No, I just want to say, do you think the defense just got a little like the offense got this at times? I don't want to make excuses, but it just felt like that. With that said, Boogie, I know we got to get through.
Well, I mean, we don't have a bunch. We can talk about it because I felt like they were gassed, and sometimes being gassed and being maybe lazy. I think. And then you look up earlier.
and you got a 17-point lead, and you're like, okay, I can take a breath. Yeah, maybe a little guilty of that time. Oh, I want to put a little bit of shine on one guy we haven't talked about. I thought Jordan Ross played a great game. I thought he played a really nice game on that edge. Just wanted to kind of. Before I forgot about it,
just to not sound quite as rough. Maybe it's not so much lazy. I mean, as a coach, I'd say lazy too, but maybe not so much lazy as just like relaxed a little bit. Because the thing that's the last real negative point that I want to. From first quarter, after the first quarter, we basically tied the rest of the game. And I mean, everybody's looked at the box score. Everybody knows, but with second quarter, 14-14, third, 6-7, fourth, 6-7, and that's because they went for 2 and didn't get it. So from the first quarter on, we just went stroke for stroke. So what felt like a heavily dominated, like momentum carrying game at the beginning, we definitely took, I don't know, you can blame it on wherever you want to put it, but we definitely relaxed and kind of just let the game kind of just roll on and do its thing and just play out. Like when they scored, we bang it and score right back. But other than that, we just kind of like, okay, let's go through the motions. Let's get out of here. Let's get a dub.
Yeah, and Paul says in the chat, this D ain't lazy. Maybe that was maybe lazy was a lazy word. Maybe they were comfortable. I was comfortable the entire game. I was never nervous until it was a 2-score game, and I think Syracuse got the ball back, and I was like, if they score here, we got a ball game. But I was never in fear of losing this game, Coach.
A Staley catch kind of just shifted everybody's perspective, I think.
Like we're going to be able to answer no matter what when we want. Like when we want. Yeah. We can answer, their defense. We can run. We can get up when we need to. I agree. I will say this as a defense coordinator. There's that one series, and I love it because last year's defense I felt like was good at this. There's that one series as a D coordinator when you go up 14-0, 17-0, and you pull your defense aside because you know it's that time where your defense wants to go and take that breath. But as a D coordinator, that's when I want to pull them in and go, hey, right now is where we step on their throat and don't give them an inch. And then our offense goes and puts them away and we can take a breath.
See, that's what I was waiting for the whole game. I'm like, can we just put them away?
Get it out of defense. Yeah.
Right.
Let me ask you a question, and I don't know the answer to this. I had it in my notes before the game that I was going to ask it, and I don't even know if it's pertinent or makes sense now, but I'm going to ask it anyway. Did we all see the chip on the shoulder that we thought this team would have in this game because they had to unify, because they went through everything they went to with Nico? Did we see that this game, or did maybe each of you could answer it? I don't know. I don't know how I feel about it.
I wouldn't say chip. I felt like some guys played physical, but no, overall, I don't feel like this team played like they had a chip on their shoulder. But a lot of these guys played physical, man. Some of the, especially offensively, man, those backs played physical. I feel like Idris Farouk played physical. Colton Hood played physical, but no, I didn't feel to me like they had a chip on their shoulder, but maybe that doesn't show up on the field as much as it does in the locker room.
You could also chalk this up to me being excited, as a fan for the first game, but that first drive felt like it had more juice. And I know that's the one that only got a field goal, right? But that first drive felt like it had a little extra juice, like we're proving a damn point right here. Like, because it was just quick. I know it's scripted. We got to remember that part's scripted too. That helps. But it was just clicking. Like every play call was the right play call. The reads were right. Even if we didn't get the play or there was a drop or whatever it was, the play call was right. The execution was mostly there. Like there was just a little extra juice for me in that first drive, which also could cause some of the overthrows because you are amped up. But if to answer your question, I felt like maybe the first drive or two had a little extra juice.
Yeah, I agree. I thought there was only 2 drives all year where it was scripted as well as that first drive was this year, and then a couple subsequent drives too. So that was a welcome sign from the play callers, and I don't think you can take for granted, these analysts that we brought on. I think are going to make a big statement for this team in that regard.
Yeah, I was just about to say that, I don't know if you could tell as a whole, that they had a chip on their shoulder, but, we got the chip from the people that we expected to, your Miles Kitselmans, your Easton Davis, the running backs, like you said. But, I enjoyed seeing, getting over whatever weird hump was going on last year where we couldn't score until the middle of the second quarter. Getting over that was huge. Looked a little bit more consistent in the red zone, I think was a big thing for today as well. At least, there was a couple times we still shot ourselves in the foot, but it wasn't completely detrimental to the drive. Once we kind of got it past their 40 or 30, we were pretty consistent there today. So I enjoyed seeing that.
Let me catch a couple of more here. Bad quality for 2. How about that damn O-line? I think they're going to be good, man. Got to stay healthy. And that O-line today, you didn't even have 5-star offensive tackle David Sanders. Like he wasn't even out there. So him not being out there, and Fowl, you brought it up in the pregame show. Do you slide Jesse Perry out to tackle? And that's exactly what they did.
Yeah, well, and you notice, like, we're giving them a lot of credit. I thought they looked good, but that's not only that, 3 people changed positions today.
Yeah.
Right. Because and at first I was like, what are they doing? And then I thought, oh yeah, Sham only plays left. Nobody has an answer for why, but Sham only plays left guard, that is. So that puts Moy on the right, which I thought either you swap your center and move Pendleton over, but maybe swapping your center is too much of a jolt, like for all parties involved right there, quarterback and everybody included. So then you slide Moy over, then you have to slide Perry out. So we got to give the whole offensive line group and coaching staff some credit there, because you got three out of 5 positions swapped on game day, basically, or on game week at the very least.
And you ran it down their throat and kept Joey.
Sham played well too. Who is it? Zoolander, who can't turn left on the runway. Is that what that is? Eric Zoolander can't hang on the.
Nice.
Yeah, there you go.
All right, let me catch back up with the chat. Lucas's Rad Dad video been for 8 months says rotating guys cost points. Jamal Wallace needs to develop. What about Schnell from D2? I didn't even see him out there. I don't recall
I
seeing
didn't
him.
see Sale either.
It's hard. It's hard too
I didn't
watching
see it.
live,
I'm
man.
still learning
It's hard.
numbers, man. It's tough right now.
Yeah. Rocky Top time for 5. Y'all are going to do it. Y'all are doing a great post game. Got to go. Final question. Best play of the game had to be Staley. I don't know. The scoop and score was big too. But for me, Staley, because all off season we wanted. Can we hit the deep ball? Can we hit the deep ball? Can we hit the deep ball? And Joey hit the deep ball. So give me Braylon Staley.
You want to give us a best play?
Yeah,
I like Robinson's play. Getting that. Yeah.
Yeah, I was about to say
great.
there's probably a couple extra fumbles too that we could have gone our way.
Mm-hmm.
But
Well,
one
shout out to D-line being
play,
aggressive on the tips too.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I think the obvious one play for me was the patience of Joey on that goal line touchdown.
Yeah.
In a different league, that pass might not make it there. He kind of floated it just a little bit, but Thomas was ready for it. And as soon as he started to break out, you could tell Thomas was ready for it and kind of backed out and gave himself a little bit of breathing room. So I love seeing that, because I don't know that we would have had the wherewithal to make that play in the last couple of years. It would have, ended up in a hit on the quarterback, or, the receiver would not have known to, fade back. And so I enjoyed seeing that for sure.
And just for kudos, that run that got called back on Star. What a run. He pushed through everybody yard after contact, get in the end zone. It got called back, so it is what it is. But that play was still a hell of a play.
Yeah, there were some great plays out there, no doubt. I guess I'm a defensive guy. I'll go with the Robinson strip to the hood teamwork there. I thought it kind of changed the complexion of the game too overall, and kind of gave us that extra space to feel comfortable.
Yeah, and Bookie, how crazy is this? We've been championing the defense the whole off season, and then here offense probably has the better day. Go figure. The most Tennessee thing ever, right?
I did not expect to come out of this week 1 game going, is our defense going to be all right? Shout out to Scoops for becoming a member of the channel. What's wrong with him? I thought he was already a member. Shout out, Scoops. Hope you had fun at the game. Professor D's for 5. We could be the number 8 team, losing at the half by 10. Buck Fama. We sell a t-shirt that says Buck Fama. Shout out Professor D's. We appreciate you. Briston Hatfield for 2. I think Pendleton ran the O-line great. Yeah, I mean, gosh, you can't give enough praise to this offensive line. Tennessee gets it done. Bottom line, you're 1-0, 45-26 over Syracuse. Again, you win, you cover, you learn, you move on. We go play a glorified scrimmage next week in Neyland Stadium, and then we get ready for the Georgia Bulldogs. Coach, final thoughts on today's win?
It's a win, right? And game ones are just that, game ones. It's not going to be perfect. It didn't have to be. You just got to go out there, have fun, and execute, right? And I thought we did that enough to win this one, but there is plenty that this team can take a step forward on. We got to get healthy, man. We got to find a way to get healthy, or it will build up and catch up with us. But I think this team has shown that, that there shouldn't be this huge step back, right? Yeah, the defense needs to solve some problems that they didn't solve last year, but they can get better at it. Were we setting traps? Will we stay aggressive? We're going to find out in 2 weeks, right? So I guess I would just say this team just needs to stay focused, keep playing hard, keep playing disciplined. Overall, I was happy with how clean of a game they played. I thought some of the penalties that they caught this game weren't really penalties, or they were ones that, as a coach, that I'll live with. So I was happy with that. And everything I saw out there was something that was fixable between week 1 and week 2. So if we go out there and fix it, guys, we can be a lot better team than that 22nd, 23rd, whatever rank they gave us below Iowa State and Kansas State. We can make them look as dumb as they were for giving us that rank, guys. We can be a good team. We just got to solve a couple issues out there. I liked what I saw, though, in a lot of places.
Final thoughts.
Just keep it quick and short. Offense, I thought exceeded expectations. I thought we looked better than we were expecting, maybe a couple weeks ahead of what we thought we would be. We see what we're good at, see some things. Obviously, we're going to lean into the run game, and we showed we could. I think Joey looked better than people expected him to. I think the offensive line looked better than people expected to. So I'm happy there. Always got improvements, so I'm happy there. The defense looked maybe below expectations, but still looked really good at times. So I think there's plenty to work on, but we as a whole, I thought we looked good. I think right where our strengths thought they would be. And in the secondaries, our strengths, defensive line, I think the injuries kind of put a hitch in our giddy up. I'm worried about Moy. I'd like to know what's going on there. But I think as a whole, I think good solid week one. Obviously, we're always going to have things to improve on, but get healthy, get everybody back in order. And I think we're going to be better than people thought we were going to be.
Captain D.
Yeah, I totally agree. Pretty clean game overall. There wasn't as many like head pounding moments. There's a couple as always, but like Coach said, it's never going to be perfect. But let's use next week to get healthy, not get too crazy with things. Get the ones off the field as quick as possible. Let's put this thing away by halftime. Get healthy, learn from it, use this game to better themselves and move on to the next one. I'm looking forward to the potential of this team. Like I said, delightfully surprised at the offense. We definitely needed them today, and tidy up some things on defense, and we'll be fine.
1-0 and moving on to ETSU. Don't forget tomorrow night, Sunday night, 7 p.m. Eastern time, fan call in, members only show. Come hang out. It's always a blast. It's off the rails. It's the most not that we're professionals, but it's the most unprofessional show that we do on this channel. You want to be a part of it, make sure you're a member. Hit the join button. It's $1 a month. We appreciate that support. Tomorrow morning, I'll be waking up bright and early doing the day after video. I'll have a night to sleep on it, put some thoughts together on this win. My thoughts are probably going to be that Joey Aguilar is the greatest quarterback in Tennessee history, and he is going to win a Heisman for Coach Jay. That's what I'm going to talk about in the morning.
For it, maybe.
Monday morning, I told you. I'm going ham this
for
season.
it, man.
I'm going ham this season.
Second Heisman winner in my coaching tree, man.
Let's go.
Let's stack them up, baby. Let's stack them up.
We're going live twice on Monday. Monday morning, 9 a.m. Kaner will be in the house. And then at 4:15 p.m. Eastern time, me, Coach, Foul Ming, and also Vol Scoops are going to go live for the Flip Watch of Hezekiah Harris. Does he flip to Tennessee? We'll cover that live on Monday. Tuesday night, we play video games. Wednesday night, Talking Balls live. Friday morning, me, Foul, and Coach Jay. So much fun content coming your way this week. Make sure you're subscribed if you're not. Get dialed in. We appreciate you guys. We love you guys. For Coach Jay, for Foul Ming, for Captain D, my name's Boogie Bentley. This is the Talking Balls Network. Go Big Orange.
We're
that we call home.